Get ready for the Squawking Eagles Podcast, the show that covers only the Philadelphia Eagles. Think different. Think Squawking Eagles Podcast.
Hello and welcome to the Squawking Eagles Podcast, Divisional Playoff Round episode. I am Mike and I'm joined by Miguel and Mark. How's it going, guys?
Are you ready?
Bah, bah.
Break it down.
Let's go. How's it going, Mark?
I'm an Eagles fan, so I think it's going.
Yeah.
It's going good.
I think we're all doing good. You know, when you guys are going to be talking during your rants today, I'm going to be reading Inter Excellence. So just I have my mind in the game, but I'm going to be sitting here reading as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about that scenario on the sidelines this past game. We're going to review the Green Bay Packers very quickly because if you want to hear a lot of our takes, go listen to our post game because it's pretty entertaining. I enjoy the banter back and forth of those recordings so much. So go and listen to that, and then we're going to jump into this possible Snow Bowl 2 Rams-Eagles.
Wait, do you guys respond to each other during that?
I do, yeah.
Honestly, I never listened to any of your stuff.
It's like only me and Miguel, really.
Oh, I didn't know. I
Got it. Listen, yeah, we make comments. There's little comments.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, we do one out. Said somebody check on Mike.
Oh man! So the game is this past game. Green Bay Packers coming into the link and thinking they can push the Eagles around, but the Eagles showed they're more. Would you say more physical?
They smacked them in the mouth in the opening bell, bro.
Well, let's put it this way: they're cheeseheads. What kind of cheese is famous in Philadelphia?
Philly. Whiz?
I don't know. Cream cheese. What do you guys?
Cream cheese.
Wow.
Yeah, it's Philadelphia cream cheese.
It's late. This whole late recordings catching up to me.
Creamed them. All right, that's what it was.
Yeah. I don't creamed them. Creamed them.
Whoa.
Yeah.
You creamed them.
You never used to see. You ever hit somebody, but you got like someone that you hit someone like you got creamed.
Gotcha.
Okay, gotcha.
Creamed, man. Like
Gotcha.
Yeah, like I said, that
Don't
opening
talk to me.
kickoff hit him right in the mouth. He fumbles the ball, and we get the ball.
Now, according to like Packers fans, the Eagles never had that ball, and they just gave it to them anyway.
Hey,
saw
I'll
that.
put it to you this way:
A lot of Packers fans are complaining about
the
that.
ball. I said it. I talked to my buddy during that. My buddy, who's an Eagles fan, was like, I don't know if that was really a fumble. I said, hey, look, or he said, I don't know if it was really from the Eagles. I said, I remember your dad talking to him. You know, when we used to play football, anytime something crazy like that would happen, we'd argue. He'd say, hey, guess what? You want to stop arguments like this? Don't drop the ball.
Right.
Hey, you want to argue about PI? Guess what? Catch the ball. Ball hit your hands. You got to catch it. That was always the rule. We'd be playing out back, and he'd be our quarterback. He would throw bullets. We're fighting each other. It would bounce off our fingertips and be like, oh, man, he hit me. Like, did it touch your hands? Then it doesn't matter. You should have caught the ball.
They caught the
If
ball.
you have the ball in your hand,
Don't
there's
drop
no argument of who recovered the fumble. If you don't fumble it, don't fumble it. That's your fault, boy.
Be great. I like it. I like
Get
that.
packed. Go home. Pack your bags.
Yep, I
Go
agree.
play some golf, my guys.
Shout out to my little cousin Rudy, who's a Packers fan as well, who decided 10 minutes before kickoff to start talking shit. And then we smacked him in the mouth.
Hey, you know what?
And
I
he
love that.
remained quiet for the rest of the game.
I love it. You know, I'm going to follow up with you, Miguel. Shout out to my boy Bagel from my. He won my fantasy league. Don't matter, boy. Eagles going to win that whole thing. Your Packers going packing.
Yeah, they're going to Cabo. They're packing their bags going to Cabo, and Eagles are going to now face the Los Angeles Rams.
Yeah, I say we were fighting. I was hoping the Vikings. I got another buddy who's a huge Vikings fan, but I can't even talk to him. They already went packing. Like
the Vikings did not show up. The Vikings, I think, the past 2 weeks they showed how much a fraudulent team they are.
I just showed you what Sam Darnold is when the pressure gets on him.
His Jets showed.
Blocked for him.
Hey, you know what though? The Browns might still make that deal.
Yeah. Did you hear about? Speaking of the Browns, Deshaun Watson tore his Achilles
Achilles again.
Yeah,
again.
he's gone, bro.
All for the all. Go ahead, Miguel.
Did you hear how he tore it though? He was running from the masseuse because they were coming from.
Well, the funny thing is though,
There's a man this time, right?
There's a TikTok video of him doing some sort of dance without his walking boot on.
Ooh.
And so now that the Browns have that evidence,
He's void contract.
they're going to void his contract.
Oh, that just saved them a ton of money.
I think $93 million they're going to save.
Jesus.
Good for them. You know what? Bad decision in the first place, but at least you can do something, right?
Yeah. So there's something's going to happen there. Trust me. All right. So let's preview Eagles. Rams. This is a week 12 rematch where the Eagles went to Los Angeles and defeated them by 17 points. Barkley rode the Rams for 255 yards and a huge 2 touchdowns, I think.
Yep.
Now they're that was in ideal conditions, right? Indoors, artificial turf. Now they're going to come to Philly. It's going to be cold as hell. It's supposed to be the second coldest on record, they said, on Sunday.
And they had one less day of rest.
And they have 1 day less of rest because they played on Monday in Arizona.
Yep.
A lot of these things are like stacking up. Also, the Eagles are undefeated in divisional rounds as a team. They're
However,
and Matt Stafford is 1-8 in cold weather games.
However, we are facing a ref we've never won with.
I was going to say there's a referee. I think his name is.
You know what? I actually just read that CJ has been banned.
Right. This is the guy who ejected CJ from that.
Apparently he said hello to the ref, so he got ejected.
Right. So all these things are going to be coming into play here. I see. Could it be snowing? It's supposed to start snowing around 2:30 on Sunday. The game's at 3:00, but it's also snowing now.
I'm pretty sure it's snowing right now.
It's snowing right now, so I think we're going to have some snow.
I'm surprised LA didn't fly out here earlier in the week and just practice out here in the cold just to get used to the cold.
Do you know what the funny thing is? I just saw the Washington Commanders were practicing outside in preparation of playing against the Detroit Lions.
They have an indoor stadium, don't they?
They do. They do.
It's kept at a beautiful 72 degrees too.
What the hell are they doing? Why are they practicing outside?
I guess they're trying to hype themselves up because they're going to be coming to Philadelphia to play.
Oh, there's a preview of who you're picking in your game. Okay,
yes,
all right.
A little wink, there.
All right, so let's hear your sides. Mark, you go first. What do you feel is going to happen in this game? Do you want to predict it as if it's going to be a snow bowl too here, or you just want to go as forget about it, snow or no snow? You're just going to go.
I mean, if it's a snow bowl, we go bowling. We line up those pins and we grab a hold of our bowling ball. We have a new special edition one this year called Saquon, and we just throw strikes all night. If it's not snowing, I will say, originally was thinking, AJ Brown's gonna have a hell of a game. However, even if it's not snowing, it's gonna be cold, so less receptions than I wanted. I was hoping 8 or 9. I was really hoping 8 or 9 receptions, over 80 yards, and a tutty. However, with it being this cold, I was giving 4 or 5 receptions, probably over 50 yards, still a touchdown. But yeah, I think a lot of it's going to come down to the O-line, D-line. I think our O-line is better than theirs. I think our D-line is better than theirs. It's going to be the biggest thing about it is going to be how the defense melds without Dean. Mainly because he's been the play caller. While Vaughn has been the guy, Dean's been the play caller. Dean's been the organizer of the team on defense. It'll be different without him there. So, Kieran Williams might have, and he's a sure tackler. You're missing one of your most sure. I mean, you have 2 linebackers over 100 tackles, and one of them's out.
Yeah.
Kieran Williams is not a joke. He's a good running back. It's going to be, when we saw what happened with Josh Jacobs once Dean went down, if you can lock up Vaughn, you're not as threatened by the rest of that defense If I've got 5 guys in the tight end and I can cover their 3 best tacklers on the D line, I can cover Bond. Running back's going to run. So we got to keep CJ in the field and hope that he can come up and make some hits. Bond's got to get free. If we can keep Karen Williams contained, this is an easy game. It's going to be a battle of the running backs no matter what. I obviously think Saquon's better, but it's just how much can we do? Right. And can Hurts not make so many bad decisions, like standing there all day and taking sacks? He's got to be better than that. I'm sorry. At this point, bro, you're 4 years in? You cannot stand there for 6-7 seconds and just take the sack. Or the worst is when he runs to the sideline. Like he's at the sideline, he just takes a sack and runs out of bounds. Throw the ball away, my guy. You're a professional at this point. Throw the ball away. Stop losing yards. As long as we can do those things, Eagles got the dub.
Interesting. He did stay in the pocket in that first touchdown pass for 7 seconds and still scored a touchdown. So
I mean, yeah,
the defense adjusted. The defense adjusted.
Well, that and you gotta have that internal clock though.
Yeah. Miguel, let's also over your over-under of how many books AJ Brown's going to read on the sidelines this week.
It's the same book he's been reading all year. I've seen the book before. I've seen. I don't know why it's been such a crazy thing. Like he used to read. I'm pretty sure he used to read when he was on Tennessee.
Yeah,
it's always been his thing on the sideline. Any of his interviews, there's always books in his locker.
This wasn't the first time they actually.
I don't know why this is such a big
doing
thing
it before, but because he only had one catch, and they want to start a controversy like the media does. And look, that book was 519,000 on Amazon's list, and in one day,
it made him rich.
In one day, it went to number 1. In one day,
it's insane. Billy's here for you, my guy.
Like I said, I downloaded the Audible. It's pretty good. I'm up to chapter 4. It's a good read. It's something that I'm going to actually really like.
I'm sure he's got a few different books. I'm sure there's 1 or 2 books I have here that he has with him.
You should send it to him. Send it to him.
I'm sure he's already got them. I'll bet he probably has like meditations in his locker room. He's probably got some other good stuff there, but I'm just happy to see the man's. I think he's in a good headspace. Like
I think so.
With one catch, we still got the dub. I think he knows where we're going with this, and I think he knows coming into this game it's going to be a cold game, possibly a snowy game. Don't expect much out of the receivers. Side note, just reminded me. Apparently, if Devontae Smith gets 6 or more yards, he'll be the Eagles' all-time leader in receiving yards in the playoffs.
No way, really?
That's what a stat I read earlier. I need to confirm it.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that's what I saw.
I heard confirm it when Miguel, give us your take.
Yeah, go ahead.
While Mr. Mark.
Yeah, I heard Mark's point on WIP this morning. Yeah, it's something like that. Like he becomes the highest Eagle in the playoffs or whatever receiving yards. As far for me, Mark's more at against the running game there. I'm thinking if we shut down Nakua, we have a better shot. Like I said earlier, Matt Stafford is 1-8 in cold weather games, and he's the key. We got to get after him. Our defensive line needs to be in his face every play. And as far as our offensive line, I know Jordan Mailata made a comment the last time we played the Rams that the guy that he was going against, I can't remember the kid's name right now, but I know he's a rookie.
Verse. His name's Verse. I think his name's Verse.
Verse or Fisk, or I couldn't remember what it started with. But anyway, he said that was probably the toughest offender that he's played all season. So we got to contain him, and I'm sure Jordan has that under control. But we don't know what type of weather we're going to be facing. Will it be a dry field? Will it be a slick field? Will it be a snowy game? Which impacts if Jalen Hurts is going to throw the ball, which he didn't really throw it that much last week, even though a couple plays he had all the time in the world to find whoever opened. But like Mark said, some plays he was just taking the sack just to take the sack, and he's got to throw the ball away.
Yeah, it's really hard for me to believe that nobody was open at all those times that he sat back there.
I don't know if he just can't see them because, let's face it, Jalen Hurts is really he's 6 foot, right? And most of his linemen are like 6'5" and up.
Yeah.
So sure. I don't know if that has anything to do with it or if he was just trying to protect the ball. But we it's like he can't win. If he would have thrown those balls and he would have been intercepted, we would have been giving him shit on that. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So it's like he did what he did enough to win the game. And at the end of the day, that's the main thing, right? The main thing, keep the main thing, win the game.
I will not speak poorly of Jalen Hurts ever again anymore. He has earned my respect. When Saquon Barkley got thrown to the ground and Jalen Hurts stepped in front of that 6'5", 300-pound lineman, and he said, I'm taking him on, supporting his running back and sticking up for your running back as the quarterback, I'm there. I'm on his side. He's there. He's our team. He's our leader. He is our leader. He is the leader.
Quick interjection, just to follow up.
What?
6 yards sets the Eagles record for Devontae Smith, 6 receiving yards, and 40 will make him the 14th player to reach 500 postseason yards in the first 4 seasons of their career.
That's wild. That's an accomplishment.
Possibilities, yeah.
That's
so
wild.
You could have a day. I mean, I understand though that again, we could save those yards for the Super Bowl when it's indoors and it's nicer weather, easier to play catch. But I'm just saying, it's something to keep an eye on. A couple yards to Smitty.
This game, I'm not really too worried about the Rams at all. Cooper Kupp isn't the same as Cooper Kupp was when he was Offensive Player of the Year. He's not the same player. He's
almost like CMC.
Yeah, pretty much. Like they just ran him into the ground. Puka Nacua, you just keep him honest. Don't know those breakout moves. He does. You got Cooper. You got Quignon. They shut him down week 12. They're going to shut him down this week. It's going to be cold out there. That Hawaiian, I think he's Hawaiian, isn't he?
Yep.
He's not ready for the cold. Trust me. He's not ready for the cold.
I'm pretty sure he played cold weather college, didn't he?
I don't know. He played at BYU. He played at BYU.
Okay, that's not warm.
No, it's not warm. But still. But yeah, it's in Utah.
Yeah, it's Utah.
But still, he does play in LA, which is it's
a little hot right now.
Yeah, it's a little on fire or something.
It is a little bit. I think Eagles fans have raised $11,000 for fire relief for California. So
are they practicing in LA or are they just staying in Arizona right now?
I would say they stay in Arizona.
I think they went to LA.
Really? I don't know what part of LA the stadium's in. Well, like the practice facility, I should say. Obviously, SoFi is in downtown, but
they're. I wish I could remember from watching Hard Knocks.
I forgot about that. Woodland Hills.
Yeah. It's pretty nasty out there. My aunt, my wife's aunt, lost her house, so it's not pretty out there.
Yeah. Family out there.
Yeah.
And anyone listening from out there, our thoughts are with you.
Yeah, it's a terrible situation right now.
Sure, got some friends out there.
So them coming to here, the cold weather, it's going to be, like I said, it's going to be pretty cold. But this game. Let's do our predictions, and then we'll save the Eagles predictions for the end. So the first game we could talk about is Kansas City and Houston. Houston goes to Kansas City. Houston has not won a divisional playoff game in their history, and Kansas City has not scored over 30 points in a game this year. What are your?
Just pretend it's yellow.
There's going to be a lot of. There's going to be flags, I'm sure.
If the Texans start winning, it's coming out all day.
Yeah.
So, Miguel, want to give us your prediction for Kansas City, Houston?
Kansas City has barely won the 14, 15 games, however many games they won this year. Most of their wins were either one score or less games, right? They've been getting those wins by the skin of their teeth. I feel like this Houston team, if this game was in Texas, if it was in Houston, I'd say the Texans are going to run away with this. But because they're playing in Kansas City, and Kansas City has those, those extra players that wear black and white, they're gonna walk out with that game. I think it'll be a close one. I think it'll be within the 3-point margin of victory, even though Let's see what the line is real quick. Hold on. The line is 8.5 on FanDuel. So that's I don't know. My heart wants to say the Texans, but I just know that the refs are going to help Kansas City win that game. So I'm going to say Kansas City is going to pull that one out.
Yeah. Mark?
This game is going to feel very reminiscent to a game from last week of the Broncos and Bills. In the first half, it's going to end so close. A field goal separation. Everyone's like, oh, my God, could the Texans do it? And then the second half of the game, the extra team is going to come out, and the Chiefs are going to walk away with this game by stupid numbers just to prove everyone they can score 30 points. Right. I'm putting them over 30. I'm thinking the Chiefs are going to put up like 32, leave the Texans behind at like 17 or less, and just be like, look how good we are. Yeah, well, they also got penalized 40 more times than you did, but sure. Yeah, I have to agree with Miguel. I want the Texans. I think the Texans are a good young team. They lost a weapon a couple weeks back in Tank Dell, and Nico Collins is great, but Mixon's pretty good too.
Yeah. And the only reason they won that game against San Diego is because Herbert decided to throw 4 interceptions. So
now hold on, no, that's not real. I'm like I feel like I'm talking about this. No, it's just I've talked about this so many times where it's like I feel like they need to make I even heard commentators say about different quarterbacks, but like there needs to be a rule change. Or like if the player pretty much catches the ball and then gives it to the damn opponent, that can't be on the quarterback. Like statistically, it's got to go. It's got to be a different stat because 2 of those picks were I have the ball, now you have the ball, and it's like, well, he didn't throw the interception. He threw a perfect pass, and then the moron just fucking gave it away. Sorry for my language.
Yeah, but that's true. That's true.
That's just crazy. And I don't mean it just for Herbert. I mean that for all quarterbacks. Because I've seen it happen to Josh Allen. I've seen it happen to players against the Eagles. And we're like, let's go. That can't be the quarterback's fault. That's crazy talk. Yeah.
No, I agree. I agree with you. I too, I don't want to say Kansas City is going to win this game, but Kansas City is going to probably win this game. It's going to be close. I think like a 21-16 victory. The next game would be
Commanders Lions.
Detroit and Washington. Mark, do you want to go your prediction on that one?
Look, the way it's currently scheduled, okay? There's only 3 teams left in the playoffs that we haven't already beat. Okay.
Yeah.
So, I'm sorry, 4, I guess. We didn't beat the Texans, Chiefs, Lions, Bills. We beat the Rams, we beat the Ravens, we beat the Commanders.
Yeah.
Look, the NFL wants a good fight. The Commanders, as cool as it would be for locals to see that 3rd game of the season, a battle between the young quarterbacks, bro, we're talking about it being a cold game here.
Yeah.
They're going up to the Lions and they're practicing for a cold game, and it's not going to be a cold game. It's indoors against some top tier talent and a team that's determined to win. I mean, before they lost 20-some players to injury, they looked unstoppable. The Lions are still a good team. I don't know if the Commanders have it in them with a rookie quarterback to go in there and beat the Lions, man. It's the Lions offense just has so much firepower. I mean, that's the only reason the Commanders beat us. We lost our firepower. Hurts went down, and we put in
your buddy,
some joker, a player that pick it. Honestly, after watching our last game of the season, if we put in McKee, I don't think the Commanders win that game.
I agree.
I think the Commanders just can't. I don't think they can handle the firepower the Lions have. So I'm thinking the Lions come out of this on top. It's going to be a high-scoring game, boys. I'm thinking like 42-30. I don't know if 30 is a good number, but in that realm of possibility of seeing the 70-point game.
Yeah, I agree. It's going to be. I'm saying Detroit's going to win. It's going to be like 37-10. Yeah, that's what it's going to be a big one. I know Jaden Daniels is a good quarterback, but I don't know if he's got enough in him to. Washington's been very lucky this year. They've been having some lucky games, but I don't know if they can pull it off in this one. Miguel?
Man, I'm sorry to go against you boys here.
Oh,
But I feel like Detroit is too banged up at this point, and Washington is going to take advantage of that. Jalen Daniels has been calm, cool, and collected in every game that I've seen him play this year. He has Scary Terry. He's got Zach Ertz. He's got weapons.
Eckler.
He's got Eckler. I mean, granted, the running game isn't as strong as it needs to be to support Jalen Daniels, but man, when he's focused, he's good. And I just think that the Lions' magic is gonna run out. I mean, they've held out. I don't know how many players are on their injury list, but I'm sure it's over 11.
It was somewhere around 24 at one point.
Yeah.
So I just think that their magic wears down. I know the crowd is going to be hot. They're going to be in Detroit. They got a lot to look forward to, but I just think it runs out this week, and I think Washington pulls it out in a squeaker of a 24-17 type of win.
Yeah, I can see that. It could very well happen because Detroit hasn't played in a week, and that could very well be it. Mark, what do you say about Buffalo and Baltimore?
Oof, that's a hard game.
Now you're talking about a goal game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be cold up there in Buffalo. Josh Allen coming out. He was off a week. We got Lamar and King Henry going up to Buffalo. What do you say?
Yeah, that's going to be a game to watch. A good Sunday night fight.
Yeah.
If it's a snow game, it's crazy to think that if it's a snow game, we might see a repeat of the Eagles-Bills.
Yeah.
Because I think Derrick Henry is better than Cook. And don't get me wrong, Josh Allen can move. He can't move like Lamar.
No.
That'd be crazy going up there and watching the Ravens beat the Bills at home in a snow game.
Right.
Oh, that'd be hilarious. I think LaShawn McCoy would be watching and laughing. It's going to be a good game no matter what, though. I think the Ravens have some more weapons. The Bills, although Zay Flowers is out, though, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, that's tough. I forgot about that.
They have Nelson Aguilar.
It's a dog fight. Bro, I said weapons, not Achilles heels, my guy. You know what we should do? We should build a team at the end of the season, like Kenny Pickett, Nelson Aguilar, just the worst of the worst, and be like, someone build it on Madden and just have them face everyone and watch them get toasted. That's a team you could probably build that would lose to a college team. Yeah, that's that bad.
That'd be probably
Quentin Dropson, which reminds me again, we're talking about picks and Herbert. How about a man who can catch a ball to save his life? Imagine being number one receiver and going, hey, guys, I don't know what to do with this.
Yeah.
Guys, so bad. It's unreal. How in the world that man ever got drafted shocks me. I thought Aguilar was bad. This man makes Aguilar look decent. How do you do that?
Yeah.
How do you do that? That's
crazy. He must have watched too much Jalen Reagor.
Even Rager's playing better than that guy.
Yeah.
That's impossible. But yeah, that's a team right there. Quentin Dropson, Jalen Reagor, Nelson Aguilar, Kenny Pickett. Yeah, Kenny Pickett throwing in the ball. I mean, he might not drop the ball as much. He overthrows it so much. But Ravens Bills is going to be a game to watch. It's going to be a fun game. For my sister, because she's a Ravens fan, I'll go Ravens.
Going Ravens
What's
for your sister. Wow.
I would like to clarify she is an Eagles fan first.
It also doesn't help that you really don't like Josh Allen either. So and
that's what I don't trust him. He has yet to prove. Again, going back to his senior year of college, I remember the start of that season, the national media was hyping him up as a Heisman surefire pick. At home against my Ducks, he had -2 yards at the end of the first half. You aren't a Heisman candidate if you can't move the ball forward. I don't care how tough your competition is. If you can't move the ball forward in 30 minutes, you're not him. He comes to the NFL. What has he done? He's the Mike Tomlin of quarterbacks right now. What's he done? What's he done? Oh, I'm looking. I got 10 plus wins every season. And what else? Oh, nothing. Nothing. That's what I thought. Literally nothing, Josh Allen.
Oh man.
Step back. Lamar is MVP. How many times? Lamar, I mean, that's just, it just looks like a better team. Sorry, Josh Allen, you ain't got this.
Follow that, Miguel. Follow that.
I don't know. It's difficult to follow, but
Buffalo,
yeah.
Baltimore.
Baltimore is going to be a slobber knocker, as J.R. Ross would say in the WWE
Always.
back in the day. I mean, it's going to be a snowy Buffalo. It's going to be a hell of a game, man. I don't know which way to lean on this game, but I'm gonna go against Mark because Josh Allen has to get one. Josh Allen has to get one. And this is the game where I think they have to pull it out because if not, I think they blow up that team. I mean, at this point, it's like, what else is there left to do? They've brought in different receivers. They've drafted different receivers, bulked up the defense. Like, what else can they do to get this team over the hump? So this has to be a must-win game for Josh Allen and friends. So I'm going to say that they squeak one out in a 3-point victory.
Ooh, a squeaker.
Weaker.
Well, I just pulled up the weather in Buffalo right now.
Mm-hmm.
For Sunday, it's going to be 13 degrees, and it will be snowing. It's snowing tomorrow.
That's warm. What are you talking about? That's a Sunday.
Monday, on the other hand, it goes to 4 degrees. Tuesday is 2. Wednesday is 0.
Good thing there's no more games being played in Buffalo.
Wow. Wow.
What do you think about it? Even if they win, it's going to the Chiefs. It's going to go to Kansas City.
Yeah.
There's no more games in Buffalo this year.
Yeah.
That's the end, boys.
And I'm with Miguel. It's going to be a close game. I'm going to guess like 20-17. Buffalo's going to pull this out. And we're going to have a showdown between Kansas City and Buffalo again.
Yeah, as long as it's not the Bengals, because Kansas City would have freaked out if it was the Bengals.
I'm sure. All right, so let's move on to our Philadelphia Eagles. I'll go first. This is, if it's going to be a snow bowl, so be it, because the Eagles are going to just either run over them in the snow or run over them in the nice cool weather it's going to be. But I think it's going to be snow. I'm predicting a 30-9 Eagles victory. Yes, I'm pulling a blowout win like you guys did last week. I'm doing it this week. 30-9.
I would like to make a statement real quick before it gets to me. I already have my score picked out. Just saying it.
Okay.
Go ahead, Miguel. No, go ahead, Miguel.
Miguel.
No, go ahead, Miguel.
Granted, the score should have been 62-20, or at least 62 points the Eagles should have had, because, I mean, the Eagles really dominated that game last week. They just couldn't get on the board for whatever reason. But
You're right.
Listen, man, this game, had it been nice weather, I think it'd be a little bit more worrisome. But because it's going to be cold, they're coming from California. They had the 1 day less rest. I think the Eagles win this one very comfortably. Comfortably. I don't know words. I think the Eagles pull this one out. I think Saquon goes for 150 on them.
Ooh.
And I'm gonna say 28 to. I'm gonna give him 10.
28-10. Yeah, it's about right from the first meeting with 17 points.
Yep.
They beat him with double digits. I like that.
All
right. Now that we were waiting bated breath of how you set this up.
Let's main event.
Let's hear what you have to say.
We talked about this. We know it's going to be a running game. Like I said, I think AJ Brown had a couple catches. I think Devontae's going to have 25 plus yards. I think AJ Brown probably about 50. Most of the game is going to be those runs. Although, hey, Dotson might be up for a couple more yards. He clearly is finally getting the reps. I think he's like, hey, I'm here. Man's available. Makes the passes. But Goddard, Calcaterra, they're going to make – I think Calcaterra might have a game, honestly, thinking about it. I wrote down my score, 31-10.
31.
All right, I'm right there between you boys. I think it's a blowout. I went with the 10 because I figured, they'll score a touchdown, right? Like
Will they
right?
though?
Right? I don't know.
Will they?
I think so. And 31 because I figured Elliott's gotta put one through the uprights for us. Yeah. So it's gonna be a good game. I think we're gonna put some money on it. I think I think maybe Saquon 100 yards, 120 yards, maybe. I don't know if it's gonna be quite as much as Miguel feels because I think maybe we're gonna rotate backs a little bit. I think they're gonna be biting down on the box so hard. I think you're gonna see some tight end pops, just a little quick. Got Calcaterra and Goddard just making them plays. Goddard with that stiff arm all day. Get off me, boy.
Touchdowns. What do you guys think about Saquon sliding after that? If he had gone to the house, that was a touchdown.
I mean, they could have had some more.
Miguel.
Let me get that one real quick because I've been playing the fucking bingo thing on the Eagles app, and it was the only thing I needed for him to get 20 fucking yards, and he slid at 17, and they fucked me out of whatever prize they were going to give, man. Some bullshit, okay?
As a personally, I would have liked to have seen him go for the 20, 30, 40 yards and then slid. Again, not scoring. You're trying to end the game. I'm cool with that. Put some yards up for your team, man. Let everyone show, like, hey, look, I'm here. I got this.
Yeah.
But, hey, win's a win.
Yeah. Him not scoring a touchdown, I lost money on that too.
Yeah.
A lot of people lost money on that.
Yeah, well.
And he didn't want to blow out a hamstring or somebody else get hurt or get the defense back out on the field and then somebody gets hurt again. So he had the team in mind, but
he had the team it was very Penn State of him. Very Penn State of him.
It was very Dawkins of him. Dawkins is the same thing. Or not Dawkins, Westbrook,
yeah.
Westbrook did the same thing back in the day. Ran all the way to the granted, he ran all the way to the one.
Yeah, the funny thing you said that. Westbrook just said something about that. He mentioned that he would have believes that Saquon should have took it to the house. He is like, no, he shouldn't have done that. He should have gone all the way.
Yeah,
I just ended the game 29-10.
I guess so, but Brian Westbrook would have liked him to see him go all the way on that one.
I think Hurts would have liked him to take it to the one, and then Hurts would be like, "Hey, we're gonna take a knee," and they get in the puddle, be like, "We're not taking a knee, boys. We're not taking a knee, boys. We're going in."
Yeah, how about that tush push that ended up being a tush pass?
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah,
that was very cool. That was very cool.
I think they released that play a little bit too early. They should have saved that game for like next week's game.
That's exactly because they put that out there. Now it's on tape.
Yeah, but now they don't. Now all 11 defensive players are going to go shoot. To stop the run. Now somebody's going to hang back.
Has to be back there. Yeah, it's good. That's a good point. Now that they have to be aware of it. They can't jam everybody in there.
Yep.
Two more things. Do you guys agree or disagree that active coaches who are in the playoffs should they be interviewing with teams for a new job?
No.
Should be no conversation at all.
Did we get burned by that fucking
Super Bowl we did.
Yeah, that motherfucker.
Yeah. Jonathan Gannon went and talked to the Cardinals, got a job, and then blew the game. Well, we're thinking right here. Cullen Moore has an interview on Friday with the Cowboys, Saturday, I think they said, with the Jaguars, and next week with the Saints.
Oh man,
that's 3 teams right there. And if they, that's where's his head going to be? Where's his head going to be?
Howie, Jeff, if you guys are listening to this by any chance, you guys got to do something about this. Either offer him some more money not to do that, and
just block him for doing it. Pulse check. Just come out and be like, "Yo, look, we're in the playoffs, my guy. You're not taking interviews right now."
Yeah, I agree. It shouldn't be allowed during playoff time.
No, I agree. I agree.
Tampering. That's why we got picks. And I think right now, the first thing we're gonna do, the moment he picks up a phone call, I think Howie's got to push in on the NFL the way he did with the Arizona Cardinals. Like, hey, look, Cowboys are tampering. We need picks.
Yeah,
we need picks. They're tampering.
Yeah, I agree. I think it should. And if you're still
That's
working,
right.
should you really be interviewing for another job?
No,
Especially you're not in jeopardy of losing your job. Kellen Moore's not going to lose his job.
he's
Like,
definitely not.
if it was me, and if I was like I knew I'm going to be fired, I'd be looking for a job while still working. But I'm not. He's not. So
Yeah.
I think that's a
And let's
terrible.
be honest, that first interview, that means nothing. You know it's going to Dion. They're already talking. I called it a year ago. They're already talking to Dion, bro.
Dion's going to be the coach of the Cowboys.
Exactly. That's why the interview don't matter. Don't even take that interview.
Speaking of Dion, did you hear the Colin Coward had, I guess is like theoretical trade? It would be so the Tennessee Titans have the first pick, and the idea for Colin Coward was to trade the Steelers' first round pick this year, first round pick next year, TJ Watt, and George Pickens for the first pick, which then they would select. Here you're gonna love this, Mark. So George Sanders.
I don't know how high Cowherd is. That's crazy, my guy.
Is that insane?
That's so much for a baloney pick.
Yeah.
Baloney.
Like,
I mean, it might as well just stuck with the GM that traded AJ Brown away. I mean, if they're gonna make a dumb move like that, I mean,
Right.
even the
I mean, no, it's not. I mean, for the Tennessee, that's
It's
great.
for Tennessee. It's bad for
Yeah, all
Steelers.
that. The Steelers are stupid as hell.
yeah. But the Jets are also offering their 7th pick for Tomlinson and some other.
Their 7th pick for a coach. That's an interesting offer.
Yep.
That's an interesting offer. I know you got a coach there. We'll give you a 7th round pick for your coach.
No. The 7th pick in the draft. The first
7th pick overall for a coach. That's weird.
coach. Yeah.
I never heard anything like that.
Because the thought is, what player are they going to grab at 7 that's going to really make an impact on the Jets when they need a whole new culture installed there?
I don't know if they do, though. I mean, they still have one of the top young corners. They have a top receiver, a top running back. They just need some, and their defense is pretty good. They got rid of the best thing they had in their coach. That was the stupidest thing ever. They need O-line and QB.
They're bad at picking coaches, though. That's the thing. It's just
They had a good coach. But they brought in a quarterback who demanded baloney, and they let him run the offense. And well, he's old and washed up.
That's on the ownership there.
Exactly. You know, it's one of those things. Sometimes the owners and GMs.
Let me ask you a question, guys. Then
Go ahead.
just hypothetically, I'm not putting any bad juju in the air. If the Eagles do lose this game, is Sirianni on the hot seat? Does he get fired? Because that was a talk on sports radio this week.
That has been a talk. I think, when we started this season, we were talking, if he were 1-3, what would his, ability to just be on this as a coach after the week 4, after the 5 bye. I think he's a good coach. And I think if they lose this game, he still has his job. Mark didn't even listen to what I had to say. Took his headphones off.
What's the point? All right, look. How many seasons has he been our coach?
4.
And how many of those seasons have we made the playoffs?
All 4.
All 4.
How many of those seasons have we made to the Super Bowl?
1.
2.
2 this year.
2.
Right?
Oh, 2. You're calling 2 this
I understand 2 this year. Like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
What? What are we talking? We're talking about a guy who's had nothing but rotating door of coordinators who are all getting jobs as coaches out from under him.
Well, the thought is that if we lose this game, right? So that we didn't.
I get that. We didn't get a Super Bowl. Okay, so we made a Super Bowl 1 out of 4 years. When's the last time Tomlinson made it to the Super Bowl? Steelers stuck with him.
His second year.
Okay, that's one time.
Yeah,
How many more times?
and it really wasn't his players. It was left over.
I know.
From,
and it's almost like Peterson and Chip Kelly's team.
Oh,
it's the same thing. No one
Oh,
wants to accept it.
There we go.
But it's the same
There
thing.
we go. We walked right into that, Miguel.
We did that. It's the same
We
thing.
walked right into that.
But it's the same thing. Tomlinson took a different coach's team, made the Super Bowl.
Oh, man.
Peterson took a different coach's team, made the Super Bowl. And then as soon as we realized the players moved on, we're like, hey, Peterson sucks. He goes to the Jags, and guess what he does there? Sucks. sometimes the coaches are just built up on this team. Now, I think Tomlinson's pretty good, not good enough. Hence why they haven't won since. Now, Sirianni took us all the way to the promised land, and I can't blame him for losing that Super Bowl game. That game was crazy. The baloney calls, the field, like there was so much with that. I cannot put the loss of that Super Bowl on that coach. And you could tell he was hurt by that loss.
Yeah.
Last year, looking good, looking feisty, and then it all fell apart with a couple moves with some weird coaching moves. I don't know what was happening there. Loses all his coaches, gets a whole new group back in and says, boys, we're doing this the right way. We're winning games. We've lost 3 games this year. That's it. 3 losses.
That's
I want to
it.
talk about the fact anyone in Philadelphia talks about him going is crazy talk to me. You know, if the Sixers had only lost the same percentage amount of games, we wouldn't be losing. We wouldn't be getting rid of our coach. You know, the Flyers were doing that good. We wouldn't be getting rid of coaches. The Phillies were, the Phillies, even went all the way. They're not losing coaches.
At this point, I would prefer the Sixers to lose every game from here on out.
But the Sixers look dog.
The Philadelphia Flyers have more wins than 76ers.
Good.
That's crazy. I'm not wrong. The Flyers are impressive right now. Like that, they're not good, but they're impressive with what they have. Being such a young team.
And they're a young team. At least they're up and coming. They're trending in the right direction. The Sixers have had good players, and they're trending in the wrong direction.
That's a problem. But my point is, though, is if the Sixers were doing what the Eagles were doing, back to back playoffs, championship contender, division contender, like that, we wouldn't be losing coaches. We would be like, all right, what little tweaks can we do to win it all? Yeah. And here we are in Philadelphia, like, man, we're 15-3. If we lose next week, fire the coach. It's like, huh? Bro, Philadelphia, I love y'all, but Megadelphia is the definition of half our fans.
Well, back to what I was saying about Brian Westbrook. Brian Westbrook said that Saquon Barkley's only weakness is he's too nice.
Yeah, he's a superhero.
He's too nice to his teammates. When he's on the field, he's out there talking trash. I don't know if you guys have heard the Eagles mic'd up, but he's out there talking trash. He's disrespecting people on that field. So if Brian Westbrook wants to say that he's a good teammate, then cool. But as far as a nice guy, not so much against opponents.
Right, not against opponents. I would agree with you, Miguel.
You don't agree with me?
I said I do agree with you.
Hey, like I said, I was watching something on the news the other day. I saw a little clip of him playing. I was like, you know what? There's anything I'm more thankful for than the fact we're not playing against him anymore. Because that always sucked. Because the Giants would suck. They'd be bad. But Saquon would still hurt you. Every year we played and be like, well, we got everyone else contained. We can't stop Saquon. Now he's here.
Yeah, it's nice.
Better than ever.
I never thought I would become a Saquon Barkley fan because I thought he'd always be a Giant. Right. Now he's my all-time favorite Eagle right now.
I will say, though, I think he's a huge definition and a huge point of what happens to a great player when they're on a bad team.
Yeah, it's true.
It's insane how much better his numbers are here. And you think about that, you see players are on the read. I hate to bring them up because I hate the 49ers, but look at CMC. He had some great numbers in Carolina, but he went to San Fran and looked so much better.
Yeah.
It was unreal.
I talked to a Giants fan the other day, and he didn't say one word about football or Saquon Barkley or the Giants. It was just straight talk.
But speaking of the Sixers earlier, did you see that at the Knicks Sixers Knicks games last night that
oh geez,
Cat and Jalen Brunson were wearing Eagles gear at the game?
Yeah, I heard about it.
Well, Cat wore an Eagles some sort of sweatshirt jersey in the first half,
right?
And then switched and wore a
he got quote unquote hot,
right? Yeah.
He got talked to.
He should have left it on the whole time.
On a side note, I don't know. We touched base on this last week that the Sixers Stadium is no more.
Right.
Yeah, they've reevaluated. I was listening to Josh Harris talk on the radio. They reevaluated their decision and decided to stay within the South Jersey Philly complex and build a stadium.
I heard from an insider that there was actually no plans to move to Center City ever.
Oh,
But they
It
had,
has a bargaining chip.
yeah, they
Yeah.
had one as a partnership with Comcast, hoping Comcast would offer better things.
yeah, they did.
Comcast didn't.
They did. Well, they're going to
Wow.
split. They're going to split a lot of stuff.
They always were, though. They would split 50-50 with them and the Flyers.
Uh,
And it's what the offer was. And they're like, well, we need a new stadium. And they're like, look, we're building a whole new downtown. Like, yeah, we want a new stadium. We want to upgrade a stadium. Company's like, we're doing a whole new downtown to bring more people here. And I want a new stadium. I don't care what you want. We're building this whole downtown we built with Philly. We agreed to update all of South Philly. We're building this whole area. Deal with it. You have a stadium. It's a decent stadium. And they're like, all right, we're going to move. And they're like, all right, good luck. Have fun. Didn't go their way.
Not
Guess
to
what?
mention,
They're still playing in the Welly.
not to mention, then they just spend $400,000 putting lights on the outside of it now, making it all lit up, and
they
very
did.
nice.
They did.
Yeah.
And now they're going to have to build a whole new stadium.
Are they going to build a whole new stadium?
Yeah, they're going to build a whole new stadium.
I mean, it is. I mean, you got to think that was the Wachovia. It is an old stadium at this point.
It is.
It used to be the first Union Center.
The FU. I loved it when it was the FU.
The FU Center.
Was it? I thought the FU was the Wells Fargo.
No.
Was it?
It was FU. It was the Fleet Bank. It was Fleet Bank for a while. It was Wachovia for a while.
No. But it was no. So it was those, and then it was the Wachovia Spectrum. That was the old stadium. The FU Center was the old. Yeah, it was the old Spectrum. That got tore down in my lifetime.
Right.
And then the Wachovia Center was built. It became the Wells Fargo Center. So this center's only been around 20 plus years.
It used to be the FU Center.
Yeah.
Was it? I don't think it was.
Yeah. First Union was a company. Then they got bought out by Core States. Then Core States
that was just
by Fleet, and then Fleet got bought out by Wachovia. So yeah, so the whole.
It's had a lot of names since its first.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, Core State, First Union, Wachovia, and Wells Fargo. You're right. Okay, it was 96 when it was built. So you're looking. We're coming up on 30.
Were you 4 years old when it was built? How old were you?
I was 4 years old.
Yeah. So.
Wow. We were in our sophomore year in high school.
You guys jealous? I hate the jealousy going through. But yeah, so we're coming up to a 30-year-old stadium. It is considered a top 10 arena though in the country.
Yeah. They're gonna have to. I don't know how they're gonna do that. Are they gonna play it in a different part of the city to? Like, they're gonna tear that stadium down and put something right up in front of it on top of it.
They're gonna have to do how they did it before, whereas you start building a stadium in one of the parking areas, and then after that's built down, you knock down the old stadium and you put the parking area in where the.
And they're going to build. But they're also going to be building like a mall, a hotel.
Oh yeah, I said they're doing a whole area.
It's going to be different.
I think they're going to probably move it down to where the naval yards across 95 there.
Yeah,
that's what I think they're going to do.
I think that it's supposed to be done at 2036. I think that's what's supposed to be done.
Yeah,
I don't want to go down there during the construction time.
2036.
I have to. I want to go see some games.
2036.
Be in our 50s, Mike. Jesus Christ.
Oh damn!
Holy
you guys want us to reserve?
We'll be 56 years old.
Oh my gosh!
You want to call up? You got some graves plots reserved, and
man.
We're gonna have to add some placards like Mike and Miguel were here.
So I say, so how do I run the Squawking Eagles podcast at that point? Do I just you get a second Mike, second Miguel, like to fill in, like little?
You have to.
You guys will be there in your old homes. Like,
we almost had set up to go to watch the game this Sunday by TickPick.
Right.
Yes, I talked to TickPick. TickPick reached out to us, by the way.
All right. And
TickPick said, what can we do to do something together? We want to work with you. I was like, okay, let me take a So I said, well, we would love to do a live podcast from the game on Sunday. And they said, well, we talked. They said they talked to the Eagles, and they said because of media rights and all this rigmarole, that they can't do it. We can't do a live podcast there. And TickPick can't send us there because we're not affiliated with the Eagles, but TickPick is affiliated with the Eagles. It was a legitimate, reason. I can understand, but I hate rules. I get it.
So are we going to work with them doing something different then?
We're gonna do something else. I have to
Well,
draft something else up. Draft something else up.
I mean, I'd be cool, like, do a giveaway or something, do something with the,
Yep.
the
I
other
mean,
teams as well.
even if we were allowed, even if we got those media passes that we've been trying for years to get to,
Please, Eagles, get us together.
we could, like I said, remember reading the things, we couldn't even cheer. So I could, broadcasting, I knew it was going to be out the picture.
Yeah. On another note, we have a new Eagle has started following the podcast just today.
Who?
It's an old Eagle, not a new Eagle, but an old Eagle.
All right.
Ricky Running Waters.
Wow.
Follows the podcast.
For who and for what?
Yes, Ricky Waters.
Ricky.
Welcome in. Welcome to the family.
Yes.
Welcome.
We're just about to hit 14,000 followers on Instagram.
Wow.
We're nearing 800 subscribers on YouTube. So growing.
Gotta love it.
Gentlemen, it's been nice. It's been real. It's been real nice.
You already know how we do. EAGLES.
Eagles.
Let's go, Birds.
Hey, Mike.
Get that second round playoff music.
Yeah. I was gonna say, you said snow globe music, so I mean, you might as well just throw that on some Frosty Snowman or some shit.